Have you ever wondered why is it that some people just get everything they want?
Or perhaps that's you.
So today we're going to continue with our Lagna Lord series, and we will be covering some of our observations for anyone that has the Lagna Lord in the 11th house in their astrological birth chart. Make sure you watch this video all the way to the end so you can see our tips on how to take the most advantage of this placement.
This video will apply to you if the Lord of your Ascendant sign goes to the 11th house from the Ascendant, or if the Lord of your Moon sign goes to the 11th house from the Moon.
Just to review, the Lagna Lord or the Ascendant is a pivotal planet that represents the self, your vitality, and your overall life path.
When the Lagna Lord is placed in the 11th house, it influences the native's life through the themes associated with the 11th house. So that includes gains of all kinds. The 11th house in classical texts is sometimes referred to as labha bhava, and labha in Sanskrit means acquisition or acquiring anything. So this is going to be the house related to your income, any profits that you are able to make, the fulfillment of your desires as well, because it's the highest of the kama houses, kama being desires. So the greatest and deepest desires that you have being fulfilled is also related to the 11th house. Awards, elder siblings, good news. So the 11th house is also related to receiving good news. Your aspirations, as well as your friendship network circles.
So let's start with the positives. The first being some financial prosperity and gains. The 11th house is the primary house of income and material gains. So the presence of the Lagna Lord being here will often bless the native with financial success, and especially through their own efforts. The native may excel in accumulating wealth over time, especially with the 11th house being an upachaya house, which always gets better with time. Opportunities for growth can come particularly through business or networking.
So the fulfillment of desires is also a common theme we see with this Lagna Lord placement. The 11th house is linked to a person's greatest aspirations or ambitions, as it is the highest of the kama houses, as we mentioned. So the Lagna Lord's placement here indicates that there is a strong potential in this person to have the ability to fulfill all of their desires.
Another positive is you probably have strong social connections with this placement, and that's because the 11th house governs your friendships and your social circles. And if the Lagna Lord is in the 11th house, that would suggest that the native is charismatic, well-liked, and capable of forming influential friendships or alliances. And these connections often play a significant role in the native's success, providing support, opportunities, or mentorship. So this is that person that has a big network and they often can get leads or like opportunities based on the people they know.
So this placement is also very favorable for leadership in groups. So this native may excel in group activities, organizations, or leadership roles within social or professional networks, as the 11th house also signifies large organizations of any kind. They are often seen as a central figure in their community or workplace. This placement supports success in fields like politics, social work, or entrepreneurship, where teamwork and collaboration are key. The 11th house is actually the 6th house from the 6th house in any birth chart. So this signifies that this person can gain or win through competitions or elections. So this position can actually be extremely good for politicians where as a politician you have to engage in some kind of competition or election to get your position. This is a good position for that kind of a career path.
Yeah, in fact, we kind of mentioned predicting political races is actually quite challenging, but one thing you would look at is the 11th house, and especially, of course, during the Dasha period that the candidate is running, just as a little FYI. All right, so some of the negatives. There could potentially, and this is always going to be more probable if there are negative impacts on the lagna lord or the 11th house, of course, but you could have an overemphasis on material gains, and that's because the strong focus on the 11th house's themes, wealth, desires, social status, that could lead the native to kind of prioritize material pursuits over, anything else. And that could be spiritual or emotional growth. And again, it is a Kama house, and that means it's all about desires. And if the lagna lord is afflicted, the native may become overly ambitious or greedy, and that can lead to potentially ethical compromises or dissatisfaction with the gains that they are already making or that are already present. And it could become one of those situations where it's never enough.
A dependency on social circles can also be seen. So this person's success may become heavily reliant on their social network or friendships. If these relationships falter, it could impact their confidence or financial stability. So this person can be so confident in their ability to get what they want through social connections that they start to seem a little bit hubristic or manipulative. So it's like they get so much, they have so many positive experiences where it's like, oh, I was able to be funny in this group setting and get what I wanted from that. Oh, I was able to make friends with everybody in this other setting and I got what I wanted from that. So then they almost, because that's kind of a little bit of a superpower for this placement, they almost get a little bit, could be a little arrogant about that. Like they can always just get what they want by being a little bit charismatic, and some people might not react to that as well.
Another thing that could happen is fluctuations with your income. And while the 11th house is associated with gains, if an afflicted lagna lord is there, this could cause some instability in your income or unexpected financial losses. And the native may face challenges in sustaining wealth if other factors in the chart are weak. For example, the second house, which is also related to wealth, but more accumulated wealth, or the 8th house, which is joint finances in a relationship, and if those things are afflicted, that could also impact your overall material and financial gains. So, or it could just cause some fluctuation.
So when are you likely to experience these effects the most? With any planetary placement, especially regarding your lagna lord, you're going to experience the most pronounced results of what we're describing here during the planetary periods of the lagna lord or the sub-periods of the lagna lord. So that's going to be either during the Mahadasha or the Antardashas of this particular planet.
And it's really important to pay attention to the sign placement because the sign in which the lagna lord sits, whether it's friendly, exalted, debilitated, that also is going to shape its expression. For example, think of a Taurus ascendant. That would be their lagna lord is Venus. And if Venus is exalted in Pisces, and Pisces is the 11th house, that would be a really good placement because of the exaltation. And then if you're a Pisces ascendant, Jupiter would be the lagna lord, and if Jupiter is placed in the 11th house, it would be debilitated in the sign of Capricorn. So that would be an example of a weak or afflicted placement for your lagna lord in the 11th house.
What are our tips for maximizing the positive outcomes and mitigating any potential negative outcomes from this particular astrological placement? The number one thing that you want to do with this placement is, as we've talked about before in this video, leverage networking. You want to build and maintain strong social connections, and this will increase your income and professional opportunities, especially over time. So again, it's an Upacha house, so it's going to grow with time. It's going to get better and better and better. And the more effort you put into it, the more you're going to get out of it. So networking is always going to be really good for you. Socializing is always going to be really good for you. And maintaining your friendships over a long period of time is also going to give you lots of opportunities, job opportunities, professional opportunities. If you're in business, those can be business connections or opportunities to make more money. That's going to be really good for you to be a very social person. So another thing that a person with Lagna Lord in the 11th house can do is augment your social intelligence. Like we said, if someone has Lagna Lord in the 6th house, this is a complete waste of time. But if you have Lagna Lord in the 11th house, reading books, or just being generally interested, or going to workshops or things related to interpersonal communication, like neuro-linguistic programming, or all kinds of things that have to do with communicating with other people, building rapport with other people, sales training and things like that, that can be extremely good and beneficial for someone with Lagna Lord in the 11th house. Even though you probably already have a natural talent for it, it's only going to help you if you build it even more. Also, entering competitions can be extremely good for someone with Lagna Lord in the 11th house. As we said, it's the 6th from the 6th house, so you can gain a lot from entering competitions. Also, focus on your business or relationship. And this is kind of a secret in Vedic astrology, which some other astrologers have mentioned. Wherever the 9th house from a particular house is, doing activities related to that house will strengthen the said house. So for example, the 11th house has the 7th house of your birth chart 9 places away. So doing things that strengthen your 7th house will increase the luck of your 11th house. You want to make sure your relationship is really healthy. You want to make sure if you're married, your spouse is very happy, or if you're in a business where you have a business partner, that you have a really strong bond and you're on the same page with that person, and that's going to increase the amount of gains that you can get.
So we hope you found this helpful, and we appreciate you watching. Don't forget to leave us a like or a comment. We'd love to hear from you. And visit us at atmaoccult.com, where you can learn more about your individual birth chart.